it's Kayla and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today we are going to be building a family house in Sequoia, and I was actually really excited to do this one because the style of building in this world is my favorite personal style, more of that craftsman, modern farmhouse vibe. And so I really leaned into the craftsman style for this build. I also decided that I wanted to play around with a few more packs this time. So instead of just using base game and then the high school years pack, I decided that I was also going to use a couple of other supplementary packs that if you download this build and you don't have those packs, it won't really affect the build too much. However, if you do have these packs, I think it just adds a little more interest to the gameplay. I decided to use the garage kit that I cannot remember the name of right now off the top of my head. Restoration Workshop, maybe? As well as Laundry Day, which is a stuff pack that comes with the ability to do laundry as well as make a really cute laundry room. So you will see those packs throughout. However, I try to keep them more so in the garage and laundry room or mudroom area. Actually, that reminds me, I do believe I also use the Grange mudroom kit. So either way, the bulk of the house is base game and high school years. And so I'm hoping that that is okay. I have been trying to keep my packs limited just so that I can really go through the catalog and remember what's in there since it's been a while since I built, really. So as you can see, the shape of the house has come together. It was very inspired by a picture I saw on Pinterest, and I will go ahead and link that down below. But I really loved that the garage was kind of at the side of the build and that there was a little mudroom right between the main house and the garage. And I also wanted to use this really pretty dark, almost orangey toned wood with the greenish, like a seafoam green siding. I just love the contrast. I think it's super pretty. So I used the high school years doors and windows, which are some of my favorite, and I also used the siding or the shingles from high school years. I also believe that everything for the porch is high school years, but I think base game kind of comes in a little bit on the inside. The outside does seem very limited to high school years at this point. So because this lot is wide, I decided to do a side yard. I just didn't know that I was going to be able to fit an appropriately sized backyard. So I went ahead and I made a little porch to the side and I fenced off a side yard that fits a pool and some other things. It is small, but I think it looks really cute. It fits the lot really well. Now, working on the floor plan, which I have to say has always been my biggest downfall with building. And this one came together a lot quicker than floor plans usually do. So I was very happy about that. We have 2 bedrooms and a couple of bathrooms. And one of the bedrooms is for twins, or at least who I imagined to be twins. The other is the primary bedroom. I also really wanted to use that arch that we got with this kit, but it was or with this pack, I should say, but it was too big. So I just went ahead and did one of the spandrels instead. So when you walk into the house, it's kind of like an open floor concept, except there are 2 rooms beside the entryway. We've got an office space and a bathroom. In this corner over here, we are adding the kitchen, and I am in love with this base game cabinet set. It was added not too long ago, and I just think it fits most homes so well, and they did a great job with the swatches. So we have a cute little corner kitchen here. I decided to use this base game table as kind of like a remote island or an island that you can kind of cart around. And then I wanted to add a fireplace because High School Years has a really cute fireplace. I also added a functional chimney into my makeshift chimney. So whenever the Sims are using the fireplace, it will show smoke from the chimney, even though they're completely on opposite sides of the house, but that's okay. So you'll see I am adding furniture here in this other corner. This is where the living area is going to be. And I also build in a way where I put the windows where I want them for the front of the house, but then I add windows later on for the other areas of the house once I have the floor plan and decorating done. I just find that sometimes if I do the windows first, I wind up deleting them anyways so that I can make a better floor plan. So here we are just cluttering, very simple clutter. I still am a minimalist. Cluttering the mantle. I also used a lot of these picture frames around the build that also came with this pack, and they are so that your family can add pictures of, themselves into the frames. So I thought it was a really cool family aspect to put those frames up for the Sims who live here to decorate. And then I decided to add a little dining area in front of the porch door. I think that the floor plan actually came out really nicely. I was happy with the way that it looks. So again, just adding a little bit of decoration here. I love these curtains that we got with the pack. I just think that they're the perfect half curtain or just like a curtain for a kitchen sort of curtain. Now in the kitchen, I did decorate and clutter a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I always keep it super simple. I'm also just realizing I totally forgot to point out that this house uses medium walls and platforms because I wanted the garage door to have access from the ground. If you just build the house on a foundation, the garage door is going to look like it's floating. So rather than doing that, I decided to build a house with medium height walls and increase the platform instead, outside and inside. I don't do any sunken in floor plan or anything like that. I'm not very, at least I don't think, good at deciding where to sink the floor in or raise the platforms. It really was just so that the driveway would look good in this house. I am now making a bathroom, and I thought that I was going to combine this with the laundry room, but I decided to save the laundry room for the mudroom later on. So this is a simple bathroom. We've got a full bathroom downstairs, and so I love the shower tub combo we got from this pack, and I'm also using the sink and just doing some minimal clutter here. You'll also see that I love the towel that came with this pack. I use it absolutely everywhere. I just think that it's the cutest hand towel ever. And so now we are in the office, and I kept the office super simple. I figured maybe one of the parents works from home, and this is kind of their area to get some space to do the work. And so I, again, am using a lot of furniture from the High School Years pack that I think just look really nice in here. And I'm cluttering up just a little bit. I do add some kid-themed clutter, like these puzzles up here and things like that. I just felt like it made sense because we do have some kids in this build. Then we move on to this hallway. This is where I start pulling out the laundry day and Grange mudroom items. So this is the mudroom, which is an area between the garage and the main house. I've got the laundry room in here as well as some storage. I think that this is super cute, and I love that the laundry room is on the first floor. It's not in a basement or a second floor, and it's very accessible. So it just is a floor plan that I feel like I would enjoy in real life. And I'm just adding some clutter here. I am going to also add a little rug in here. Now, we are in the garage, and I wanted the garage to look like one of the parents is super into either working on a car or woodworking. Anything to do with tools, but I do add a platform here just so that they can get into the garage and it kind of just looks like a normal garage that has stairs on it, in my opinion. So I add a bunch of stuff from the restoration hardware kit because it really makes a garage look like a garage. And I decided to use everything that I could, which I feel like is most of everything in the pack except for the appliances that your Sims can work on. But I decided to make the garage a little bit bigger and add a nicer car. I thought it made sense to keep a nicer car in the garage and then the family car outside. So I went ahead and decided to use this Mustang in here. And now I'm just adding a little clutter. We have these cute fishing lures. I thought maybe one of the parents or even the kids is into fishing, and just some things like that. Now we are moving on to the upstairs. For the stairs to go up there, I decided to make another gallery wall using these frames that your Sims can put family photos in. I just think that it looks really cute and is, again, pretty realistic. And this hallway is super bare because it really is just a hallway for the doors. So I decided to, like I said, actually, there's 3 bedrooms. I'm trying to remember. I believe that there's an infant in here as well. Yeah, so we've got an infant, twins, whether they're kids or teens, and then the primary bedroom up here. But when I was decorating the bedrooms, I decided to have a lot of fun with colors because I don't do that typically. And this is sort of the best pack to start venturing out with that because we've got cute curtains, we've got cute rugs, cute beds. So I went ahead and did a gingham wallpaper, and I love this bookshelf. So we don't have an infant, we have a toddler. Maybe one of these days I will stop misspeaking, but I'm not going to restart my voiceover because of that. So anyways, this is a toddler's room. We've got a bookshelf. We've got a little chair in the corner for them to read. I put a dollhouse in there. I just love the way that this room turned out. I think it's super cute and colorful, and that any toddler would enjoy staying in this room. Now we're moving on to the room for the twins, which I still wanted it to be super colorful, but I also wanted it to look like the twins decorated the room together. So I wanted them to have, a different bedspread and things like that, but I wanted the colors to work out. And this rug that we got in this pack matches so well with this wallpaper from Base Game. And I just love how much color there is in this room. I just think it's super fun and not really something I do very often. So I'm just going to go ahead and clutter here. I do add a little chair in the corner here as well. We've got a dresser. I added some board games on the dresser. And then I put a desk area over here because these Sims, I'm assuming, do have schoolwork to do. So I put a little bookshelf, a desk. I honestly love the bookshelves that came with this pack because this rounded bookshelf was perfect for this area. I did decide to swap out the board games for a fishbowl, and then I added a really cute lamp on the dresser as well. And because we put a laundry room in, I needed to make sure that I included the hamper. Now, this is the second bathroom upstairs. It's still a full bathroom. This one is just more so for the kids. So I have a toddler potty in there, and I make this bathroom a little more colorful. I love not only the shower, but the sink we got this with this pack. Again, everything about this pack is just really suits my style and taste. So now we are going to finish cluttering up this bathroom and head to the master bathroom or the primary bathroom. I wanted to see if I could fit a standalone shower and a standalone tub, but as much as I tried, I just didn't think it was working out. So instead, I decided to do just the shower and tub combo, and I also decided to go a little moodier with the colors. I figured maybe the parents were into a more calming vibe rather than the bright teals. So I did choose this tile from high school years in a brown shade. And then it looks like I just did a standing shower, which makes sense because that's what fit the best. But I think this bathroom came out really cute as well. You'll also see I used this rug as many times as possible because I love the shape and size of it, but also the swatches are so nice, and the swatches, I could use almost every single one in this house, which was really cool. So now I am going into the primary bedroom, and I am going to add a window here. Again, adding windows after building the outside, sometimes struggle with making it look good from the outside, but you'll see how I do that once we get to the landscaping. So we are just using this super cute bedroom set from the pack and another rug swatch, which is also really cute. I decided to use the base game dresser because I wasn't a huge fan of the wardrobes that we got. And now I'm just going to decorate. I also love this mirror with the kind of braided woven look around the outside. I think it's super cute. And we're just going to add a little bit of decoration. Like I've said many times before, I'm just a minimalist when it comes to decorating, and I don't really like to have too much clutter, but I don't want it to look unlived in. So I'm just adding a little lamp here. We'll get a hamper, and this room is pretty much done. And then I added some more of those photo frames and a runner in the hallway here. Now we are going to go to the outside. I decided to keep the landscaping super minimal and use debug landscaping. It's my favorite to use even if I'm not working on a budget, because I just feel like it looks so much better. So I'm using some low-lying flowers and a shrub that is, I believe, a base game debug object, and hydrangeas. So super simple, but I think that it looks really nice. I'm adding trash cans over here, and then I am going to start going around and making a pool. It is kind of a tight space, so the pool is L-shaped just so we can kind of make the most of this space. And you'll see I also eventually make it line up with the fence rather than having the stone on the outside, because I want more space even than this. So I'm just going to go ahead and figure out what I want to do in the backyard here. I really like this table that we got with the pack as well, and so I'm going to add a grill, this table, and just some other outdoor activities. I decided to also use umbrellas that I found in Debug that I think are so cute. They're from the high school years pack, and they have open ones and they have closed ones. And so I used an open one on this table, which I think came out really nicely. And then I also went ahead and used a closed one later on, which you'll see. Here's where I decided I want to be able to fit these lawn chairs. So I scooched the table back a little bit, and I use these base game chairs and loungers outside as well. This rug is from Laundry Day, and so is this plant, but I couldn't help but use it because it's so cute. I love the succulents on the bench, and I am just adding some small clutter here and there with plants. I decided to use the lights, also the wall sconces from the pack, which I think look really cute. And here is that closed umbrella. I think if I kept it open, it would have looked a little too cluttered, but the closed one is perfect. I didn't have room for any of the swings or the treehouse in the backyard, so I decided to add the swings to the outside of the fence. And then I also added bikes. I just wanted to make sure that this was a kid-friendly build. So now I'm just going ahead and I am basically duplicating the landscaping that I had done in the backyard. I also love these rocks from Debug because I think they look a lot more natural than the singular rocks that we can place ourselves. So I am just adding those as well, and some terrain paint. It looks super lush, but it's not overwhelming, which is exactly the kind of vibe that I was going for. So I am just going to finish up landscaping here, and I have the Better Build By mod from Twisted Mexi, which allows you to copy and paste Debug, and it also allows you to sort Debug and Live Edit really easily. And then here is the last step to this build. Because the windows were a little funky on the outside, I decided to use some of this Live Edit or Debug vines that we got with the base game, and just have those creeping up the wall in areas that I thought needed a little bit more interest, and to cover up some awkward areas. So that is all for this build. I hope that y'all enjoyed, and if you did, please thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more builds like this. If you have any specific requests, also feel free to let me know in the comments. Thank you. Bye.